Start in a kneeling stance today. So if you have those blocks, you can place them between your ankles and just having a seat on that block or blocks. From here, reach your arms up high overhead. Bring your hands to heart center. Really releasing your hands to the tops of your knees. Really rolling forward, bringing your gaze towards your navel. Coming into cat. Exhale, bring your hands to your thighs, lift your gaze, broaden your shoulders, roll through your spine, bringing your gaze towards your navel, hands to the tops of your knees. As you exhale, reach your hands towards your hips, lengthening, looking up, gently rounding your spine, bringing your gaze towards your navel, and then drawing your hands in towards your hips one more time. My washing machine's going crazy. Gently bring your gaze back to center. Sweep your arms up high overhead. Deep inhale. On the exhale, cactus your arms, put your fingertips wide, lift your gaze. Inhale, bring your gaze forward, arms overhead. Exhale, pull your shoulder blades down, lift your gaze. One more time, just like that. Gaze comes forward, arms overhead. Then we draw your elbows down. Think about squeezing your shoulder blades together. Hold it there for the exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release your hands down by your sides. Inhale, reach your left arm high. Right arm to the floor. Come back through center, left arm down, right arm up overhead. One more time each side. Right hand down, left arm overhead. This time, bend your left elbow, spread your fingertips wide. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come through center, release your left hand down, right arm overhead. Right bicep to right ear, bend your elbow, and release. Gently rise up. From here, go ahead and come to a tabletop position. And if you'd like, place blocks under your wrist. Bringing that earth a little bit closer up towards you, so knees directly under your hips. Thanks, Ryan. Shoulders stacked over your wrist. From here, coming into some more cat and cows. Tuck your toes, hammock your belly, lift your gaze. Coming into cow. Untuck your toes, round your spine. Bringing your gaze to the tops of your thighs. Come back through, tuck your toes, lift your gaze. Deep inhale. Exhale as you round your spine, pressing it up towards the ceiling. This time, keep the top shoulders portion of your foot pressing towards the floor as you come through cow. Hammock your belly, lift your gaze, spiral your elbow creases in. Come through cat, round your spine. Pressing that earth away. One more time through. Deep inhale. And exhale. Back to neutral spine. Bump your hips side to side. Around here, reach your left arm high, deep inhale. Exhale, reach your left arm under and through the right side body. One more time, deep inhale, left arm high. Exhale, release your left arm all the way under and through the right side body. And just gently planting your left cheek or ear. Extend your right leg long like a kickstand if you'd like. Hold it here for the exhale. Inhale as you reach your left arm high. Exhale, release it down to your left block. Inhale, lengthen your your right leg straight back. Tuck your knee in towards your elbow. Extend, draw that right leg over the left side body. And looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen, right leg straight back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rainbow that right leg over. Hold it here for a few breaths, gently looking over your left shoulder. Maybe rocking towards your heel to deepen that stretch. You can also rock forward to lessen that sensation in your right hip. Gently release your right knee down. Keeping that knee bent, draw a few circles with your right knee. Switch sides. Gently releasing that right knee under your right hip. Lift your right arm high, deep inhale. Exhale, sweep your right arm under and through the left side body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sweep through all the way under and through the left side body. Gently releasing your right cheek or ear towards the floor. You're welcome to stay just where you are. You can also extend that left leg kickstand straight back or out to the side. Here for the exhale. Inhale as you press up, reach your right arm high. Exhale, release your right hand under your right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen that left leg long. Exhale, draw your knee to your left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw that left leg over the right side. One more time through. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and hold. Same options here. You can rock forward to lessen that stretch. You want to deepen that stretch. Just gently pressing back. We'll just need a set of blocks for today and an optional strap if you like it. Hold it for the exhale. Gently release your left knee under your left hip, keeping that knee bent. Draw a few circles here with your knee. And then reversing that direction. Releasing your right knee down. Set your blocks off to the top edges of your mat. Draw your knees wide, press yourself back into a child's pose. Sinking your hips toward your heels, fingertips spread out wide, forehead gently released onto the floor or onto a block. And just rock side to side. Hold it here for a few more breaths. Going to rock forward, stacking our shoulders over our wrists. Keep your heels tucked in towards your hips. Lower down for 3, 2, and 1. Release all the way down. Extend your legs long. Release your hands by your hips. Pinkies in, palms facing down. From here, lift and lower for 3. Release down. Full locust. Upper body, lower body, arms, everything lifts. Squeeze and release. One more time. Let's hold it this time for 3, 2, and 1. Gently release down. Release your right arm directly off your right shoulder. Bring your left hand under your left shoulder. Relax your right leg. Maybe wiggle your leg side to side. And then lift your left leg high. This is option 1 if you want to come into a deeper hip stretch. Gently rock on to the outside of your right hip. If you want to come even deeper, you can tap those left toes behind the outer right hip. Just gently releasing your right cheek or ear to the floor. Allowing your left hip and right shoulder to open. Hold it here for one more breath. Wherever you are, gently rock forward, coming back onto your tummy. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press up 1 mini cobra. Release back down. Keep your right hand directly under your right shoulder. Extend your left leg long directly out from your left shoulder. Relax your left leg, maybe wiggle that leg side to side. Option 1, you can always just hold it here. If you want, you can lift that right leg high. This is option 2. If you want to come into a little bit deeper, rock onto that left hip. Just as if you're doing a side plank with your left side body down. You want to come even deeper, you can bend that top right knee, bringing that foot to the outer left hip. Maybe just releasing your left cheek or ear to the floor, allowing that left shoulder and right hip to open. Hold it here for one more breath. Gently roll back onto your tummy, releasing both hips on the floor, each wrist directly under your shoulder. Press up, mini cobra. Maybe release your palms. Place your hands back on the floor, release down. Walk your hands to your lowest rib cage. Press up, full cobra. Lengthen the arms. If you want to come into up dog, you can lift your thighs. Just keep them on the floor. Gaze up. Looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen, gaze comes forward. Exhale over your right shoulder. Bring your gaze back to center, gaze up towards the ceiling, deep back bend. Bring your gaze forward, tuck your toes, keeping your knees down, your tabletop, or looking directly up to downward facing dog. Pedal out your heels here. Holding it here with your breath. Lift both of your heels high towards the ceiling, rolling them over to the right side body. Gently inhale, lift your heels, roll them over to the left side of your mat. One more time, inhale, lift your heels, pedal out your heels. Biceps frame your ears. Gently step your right foot, then your left foot forward, coming into a forward fold. Gently let your neck hang nice and loose. Half lift, hands to shins or blocks, crown of your head towards the top of your mat. Forward fold. From here, release your left hand to the floor or to a block. You can bend into your left knee, reach your right arm high. Circle out your right wrist. Switching sides, release your right hand down, bend into your right knee. Lift your left arm high. Maybe circle out your wrist. Your gaze can be up or down. Gently release your left hand back down to the floor. Pedal out your heels. Bend the knees, gently come to a ragdoll, let your neck hang nice and loose, grabbing opposite elbows. You can stay here, maybe swaying side to side. Wherever you are, come back to center, release your hands to the floor. Half lift, hands to shins. Grab your head, point away from you. Forward fold. From here, rolling all the way up. Shoulders are last to rise. Roll your shoulders back once you get there. Sweep your arms up high overhead. Find your chair. Sink your hips towards your heels. Your arms can be out. Frame your biceps. You can cactus your arms. You can draw your arms forward. Hold in here. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Sweep your right arm back and forward. Left arm sweeps back and forward. One more time each side. Right arm and forward. Left arm. On the next one, gently rise up. Single leg mountain. Left knee lifts. Flex your left toes. Arms overhead. Hold it here for a breath. Engage your abs. Stand through tall with your standing right leg. Keep your arms overhead. Step your left leg back, coming into high crescent. Adjust your feet if you'd like. From here, hinge forward, sweep your arms back for 2. And rise. 1 more. From here, pivot your left toes, open up. Warrior 2. Deep bend into that front right knee. Stretching your fingertips long, opposite directions. Inhale, lengthen. Give me 1 big star. Exhale, deep bend into that right knee. Holding here and breathing. Straighten your front right leg, finding your triangle. Bump your hips back. Right hand down to the floor or to a block. Left arm reaches up. Maybe spiral your left arm back. Gaze can be up or down. Holding here and breathing. Reverse your triangle. Tuck your left hand behind your back. High five that wall behind you. If you want to come into archery, you can flex your right toes, lifting your toes up towards the ceiling. You have your toes flexed, and then release them down to the floor. Coming back to triangle. Right arm down, left arm up. Gently bend into your right knee, coming to extended side angle. Left bicep frames your left ear. You can put your right hand on your knee. You can release it down to the floor. You can hover it. Come back to your warrior 2. From here, bend into your left knee. Coming into side low lunge. Flex your right toes. You can bring your hands to the floor or to blocks. We're going to press back up, find our warrior 2. Bend into that right knee, left leg is straight. Reverse your warrior, high five that wall behind you. Cartwheel down to your right foot. Pivoting your left toes, gently release your left knee down. You can place the block to the inside of your right foot or release your left hand to the floor, reach your right arm high. Low lunge with a twist. Circle out your wrist. Circle out your shoulder forwards and back. Keep your right arm high. We're going to pivot our chest up, reaching your right arm back, left arm forward. Low lunge with a twist. You are welcome to hold it here if you want to come into exalted kneeling warrior. Release your right hand to the inside of your left thigh. Left arm comes up. You can also fold more back. Rise up, both arms overhead. Gently cartwheel down, framing your right foot. From here, step your right foot back, find your tabletop, tuck your toes, lift your hips, pedal it out. That is your sequence. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just gently pedaling out the heels. All right, step or hop your left foot to meet your left wrist, right foot to meet your right wrist, forward fold, neck hangs nice and loose, half lift hands to shins, crown of your head to the top of the mat, back to our forward fold, let everything hang nice and loose, release your right hand to the mat, bend into your right knee, lift your left arm high, circle out your left wrist, switching sides, left hand down, right arm scoots up, deep bend that left knee, gaze can be up or down. Release your right hand back to the mat. Bend and extend both the knees this time. Hands can be on the floor or on blocks. From here, forward fold, gently roll all the way up. Slow and control, sweep your arms up high overhead. Sink back, find your chair. Same arm options overhead. You can cactus, arms forward. You can even draw your arms out to a T if you like. Chest is lifted. Maybe lift your toes, sinking in towards your heels. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Sweep your left arm back and forward. You can keep your gaze forward or follow your arm. One more time each side. This time we're going to lift the right leg as our right arm comes forward. Rise up, standing single leg mountain, nice and tall. Flex your right toes, find your breath. Core is engaged. Hold your arms up overhead. You can also sweep them back as you extend that right leg back, coming into high lunge. Arms rise up, high crescent. Adjust your feet if you need to. Give me 2 forward swings. Arms sweep back and rise. Once more. And rise. Pivot your right toes, right arm comes down, open up, warrior 2, deep bend that front left knee. Give me 1 big star, straighten that left leg, arms overhead, deep bend. Hold it here for a breath. Extend your left leg, tick-tock your hips, left arm down, right arm up, left hand to the floor, block, or just hovering in space. Maybe gently drawing your right shoulder back. Your gaze can be up to challenge your balance, forward or down. Maintain the stringiness in that left leg. Rise up, reverse your warrior, tuck your left hand, tuck your right hand behind your back. High five that wall behind you with your left hand. You're going to come into archer. Flex your left toes, run them up to the ceiling. Hold it for a breath. You have your left toes flexed, release them back down to the floor. Come back to triangle. Left hand down, right arm up. Hold it here for a breath. Bend into that front left knee, come into extended side angle. Right bicep to right ear. Left elbow can come to your left knee. You can maintain it down towards the floor. You can hover it towards your left ear and front. Your choice. Gently rise up. Warrior two. We're going to find Skadasana. We're going to bend into that right knee as we straighten that left leg. Coming into our side low lunge. Use those inner thighs. Hands to heart center. Hands to floor or blocks. Maybe flex your left toes. Challenge your balance. Hold it here for a breath. Rise up, coming back to warrior two. Woo. Find your focus. Cartwheel down, framing your left foot. Gently release your right knee. You can place your right hand on the floor or on a block inside your left foot. Reach your left arm high. Circle out your left wrist. Both directions. Circle your shoulder forwards and back. Inhale, lengthen left arm to the sky. Maintain that extension, left arm up, right arm down, and then draw your shoulders up. So left arm back, right arm forward. You are welcome to hold it here if you want to come into kneeling exalted warrior. Reach your left hand back to the inside of your right thigh. Right arm rises up. You can bend deeper. Rise up. Cartwheel both your hands down. Sweep your left leg back. Coming into tabletop. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Pedal out your heels. All right. Let's go through that. 2 more times each. A little bit quicker. Moving breath to movement. Coming back to your down dog. This time, step your right foot, then left foot, or hop. Feet to hands. Forward fold. Half lift, hands to shins. Deep inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Grab opposite elbows for ragdoll. Sway side to side. You can maintain a bend in the knees. Just let your neck hang nice and loose. Maybe shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Notice the difference in letting your neck just fall gently. Sway back to the center. Release your hands to the floor. Inhale, rise. Slow and controlled. Sweep your arms up high overhead. Find your chair. Sink your hips back. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Hold low. Sweep your right arm back. Deep inhale. Exhale, forward. Sweep your arm back. And forward. One more time each side. And forward. Left arm comes back. This time, rise up. Stay in single leg mountain. Left leg lifts. Hold it here for a breath. Find your focus. Maybe lift your left knee an inch or 2 higher. Step back. Sweep your arms back this time. Left leg comes back. Rise up. Coming into high crescent. We're going to sweep the arms back 2 times. Exhale. Inhale to rise. Deep exhale. Hinge forward. Arms sweep back. Inhale, rise. Hold it here for a breath. Exhale, pivot your right to pivot your left toes. Left hand down, coming into warrior two. Find your focus. Inhale, lengthen, big star. Straighten that right leg. Deep bend. Coming back to ascended side angle. Into warrior two, my goodness. Straighten that right leg. Tick-tock your hips. Right arm down, left arm up. Gently rotate that left shoulder back. We're nice and warm now. Pulling here in triangle. Maintain both legs being straight. As you rise up, use your core. Draw your left hand behind your back. High five that wall behind you. Maybe flex your right toes. Releasing your hamstring. Gently release your right toes back to the floor. Coming into triangle. Right hand down, left arm up. Both legs are still straight. Bend into that right knee. Find extended side angle, your choice of arms. Deep bend into that right leg. Open up. Come back to warrior two. Hold it for the exhale. One more deep inhale. Come into side low lunge, bend into that left knee. Maybe flex your right toes. Hands can be to heart center or on blocks. Hold it here for a breath. Inhale, rise up. Find your warrior two. Bend into that right knee. Cartwheel your hands down, framing your right foot. Left hand to a block or floor inside your right hand. Sweep your right arm high. Circle out your right wrist. Circle out your shoulder forwards and backwards. You can release that left knee or have it lifted. Lift your shoulders. Right arm back, left arm up. From here, you're welcome to stay here if you want to draw that right hand to the inside of your left thigh. Left arm up, exalted warrior. That left knee can be lifted or on the floor. Gently cartwheel your hands back down to the floor. Find your tabletop and then come to down dog or come directly to downward facing dog. Pedal out your heels. Find your breath. All right, continue with the pedals. Step your left foot, then right foot, or hop your feet to your hands, coming to your forward fold. Half lift, hand to shin, pull the crown of your head toward the top of your mat, maybe almost past. Back to our forward fold. Let your neck hang nice and loose. With your hands on the floor or on blocks, then extend both knees. 2 more. On the next one, gently rise up all the way. Shoulders are last to lift. Sweep your arms up high. Sink your hips back, find your chair. Arms of choice. We're going to pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Draw your arms back out in front. Sweep your left arm back. And forward. Right arm sweeps back. And forward. Left arm. And forward. Right arm this time. Draw your right knee up as you rise, standing in single leg mountain. Hold it here. Flex your right toes. Maybe lift that right knee an inch or 2 higher. We're going to set the right leg back. Sweep your arms back, coming into low crescent. Rise up. High crescent, arms overhead. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Sweep your arms back. Hinge forward. And lift. Exhale to sweep. Inhale to rise. Hold it here for the exhale. Deep inhale. On your exhale, pivot your right toes. Open up, warrior 2. Deep in that front left knee. Give me 1 big star. Straighten that left leg. And exhale. Straighten your left leg, coming into triangle. Left arm down to the floor or to blocks. Right arm reaches up high. Stack your top shoulder over the bottom. Maybe pull that top shoulder back. Keep that left leg straight. Use your core. Rise up. Tuck your right hand behind your back. High five that wall behind you. If you want to come into archer, flex your left toes. Release your hamstring. Squeeze your left quad. Gently release your left toes back down to the floor. Cartwheeling down. Find your triangle. Bend into that left knee. Extend a side angle. Maybe hover that left arm. You can also keep it on your thigh. Down to the floor. Maintain that bend in your front left knee. Open up, warrior 2. We're going to find Skadasana, low side lunge on the right side. Straighten that left leg as you bend into your right knee. Maybe flex your left toes. This is really a balance challenge here. You can always bring your hands to the floor to blocks at any time. If you want to challenge your balance even more, maybe close your eyes. Use your thighs together. Inhale, rise, coming back to warrior 2. Very nice. Cartwheel your hands down. Framing your left foot. Right hand to the inside of your left foot on the floor or on block. Lift your left arm high. You can release that right knee at any time. Circle out your wrist. Circle out your shoulder forwards. And back. Inhale, lengthen, left arm high, right arm down towards the floor. Keep that extension of your arms, rise up. Left arm back, right arm forward. You are welcome to hold it here with that right leg lifted or that knee on the floor. Or you can draw your left hand behind your right thigh, coming into exalted warrior, kneeling or standing. Gently cartwheel your hands down to the floor. Step your left leg back to find your down dog or table, and then lift your hips. Pedal out your heels, and back to your breath. Very nice. All right. Gently pedal out the heels. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Bend your right knee, stack your hip, open up your right hip, circle out your right ankle, square out your hips. From here, draw your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Release your left knee down, coming into lizard. You can place your hand on blocks or on the floor. Your toes are turned out to about 2 o'clock. Left knee just gently on the floor. Straighten your right leg as you press your hips back and forward. Then press back and forward. Welcome to hold it here. You can come down onto the floor, placing your forearms on the blocks, or you can gently bring them down to the floor. You can also stay upright. Wherever you are, hold it for one more breath. Forearms are down, gently walk your hands back to the center. Release your left hand to the mat. Right hand comes to the inside of your right leg. Gently press your right knee open, looking over your right shoulder. If you like a quad stretch on the left side, this is where it'd be a great time to grab that strap. If you like, you can draw your left heel in towards your glutes, reach your right hand back, or use that strap to loop it around your foot and pull your left heel in towards your glutes. Your hand does not have to make contact with that foot. I'm not able to. Gently release your right hand and left foot back to the floor. From here, we're going to rock our right toes over to our left wrist, and then release your right knee down. So you can either keep that knee at a 90-degree bend, or if you're like me, I have to bend my right heel closer in towards my left hip. We're finding pigeon here. So you can tuck your left toes, drawing your left leg slightly back. You can also keep your right foot closer up to where your left wrist was, or drop closer in towards your hips. If you'd like a glute stretch, gently rise up, bring your hands to the floor or to blocks by your hips. Maybe squeeze your glutes, release your quad. Gently roll forward, or you can also stay up high, placing your hands or forearms onto blocks or floor. One of my personal favorite stretches in pigeon is rocking side to side very gently. Noticing the different stretches on that right hip flexor. Occasionally release your hands back to the floor. Tuck your left toes, sweep your right leg back, coming to three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, circle out your hip. You can flip your dog if you like by drawing that right foot more towards your left hip and then releasing it down to the floor, pressing your hips up. You can also just hold it in down dog or three-legged dog. If you flipped your dog in wild thing, go ahead and come back into three-legged dog. Release your right leg down, pedal out your heels. Inhale, and lift your left leg high, square out your hips. Bend your left knee, stack your hips, circle out your left ankle. Switch directions. Square out your left hip, take your left leg straight back. Draw your knee in towards your left elbow and step it to the outside of your left foot. Left toes turn to about 10 o'clock. You can release your right knee. You can also keep that leg hovering if you'd like. From here, gently press your hips back, straighten that left leg, rock it forward, press it back, and forward. Gently hold it forward. Many options here. You can place your left hand to the inside of your left leg, rocking to the outer knife edge of your left foot. You can come on to forearms, down the floor. Again, you can also tuck that right leg, hovering your knee. Noticing how one side may feel different than the other. Your hands back under your shoulders, release your right hand to the floor, left hand to the inside of your left leg, and apply a little bit more pressure than the beginning if you did it previously on the left leg, looking over your left shoulder. You want to add additional quad stretch, draw your right heel in towards your right glute, maybe reach your left hand back, maybe wrap that strap around the top shoelace portion of your left foot and then gently pulling it towards your heel and towards your glute. Whatever bind you have, gently release that right leg, then release your left hand back down to your shoulder. We're going to walk on the left toes over to the right wrist. This is probably a little easier for you all to see on this side. You can keep that knee at that 90-degree bend, releasing your left knee down, or you can draw that left heel in closer towards your hips. Gently releasing your right leg or tucking your toes, drawing that right leg a little bit further back. So again, that left foot, I probably can't even do it because my knees are so bad. You can draw that knee to be a 90-degree angle with your left toes up towards your right wrist, or just keep that left heel in closer towards your hips. You can walk your hands in towards your hips, lengthening up, looking up. At any point, you can also fold forward, bringing your wrists or your forearms down to the floor. Maybe rolling side to side, seeing what feels good on this side this morning. Under your shoulders, tuck your right toes, lift your hips, pressing your left leg up, three-legged dog. You're welcome to stay here. If you want to bend the left knee, that's part one. If you want to come into wild thing, draw that bent left knee further over your hips until that left foot taps down. Press your hips forward, left arm overhead. If you flipped your dog, go ahead and come back to downward facing dog, releasing your left leg. Peel out your knees, peel out your heels. And then release your knees down to the floor. Come to your left or right hip. Finding a seat on the floor, knees are bent, or legs can be straight, hip width apart and parallel. Go ahead and grab a block between your palms, bringing your arms out in front. We're going to slowly lower down for 10, 9, 8. You can also place your hands by your hips. We're at 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you're slower than my count, that is also okay. Gently release down with that block. Keep it in your hands. Bend your knees, bringing your heels close in towards your glutes. Squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. Place that block on its lowest setting under your hips, and just letting your hips fall onto that block. Holding here and breathing. Gently release your right leg up towards the ceiling, left leg to follow. Arms can reach up, supported legs up the wall. Point, flex. Maybe circle out your ankles and your wrists. You can stay here as long as you'd like, or when you're ready, gently bending your knees, releasing your feet back onto the floor. You can extend your legs out long one at a time, or both at the same time. Open up your hips even more. You can lift your hands by your side, palms facing up. Gently bend your knees, bringing your feet back in towards your hips, towards the block. Squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. Release that block off to the side. Release your hips down, draw your knees in towards your chest, curl yourself into a tiny ball. Grabbing the tops of your shins, maybe the backs of your thighs, and just rolling side to side, shoulders are lifted. Keep your knees bent in towards your shoulders, draw the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling, grab the outside of your feet, maybe keep the connection with the backside of your legs, and then gently release your shoulders down to the floor, coming into happy baby. From here, you can stay just where you're at, maybe rolling side to side if that feels good to you. You can also come into ninja baby by extending one leg. And of course, switching sides. You can come into a wide leg straddle. Gently draw the soles of your feet to touch. And another option. Bringing your knees together, then gently releasing your legs long on the floor. From here, draw the sole of your right foot to the inside of your left thigh, coming into reclined tree. Holding here and breathing. Of your right foot to the floor, right knee towards the ceiling, and then gently let your right knee fall over the left side of your body. Maybe with your left hand, gently pulling the outside of that right knee. You can bring your gaze over your right shoulder. Maybe extend your right arm. You can cactus. Come back to center. Release your right leg long directly from your hip. Bend your left knee, bringing the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right thigh, coming into reclined tree on the left side. If your legs are tensing up, try to relax everything. Your hips, your hamstring, your quad. Letting your knee just fall down to the left side of your mat. Focus on your breathing. Then draw your left knee to the ceiling, left foot is flat on the floor. Reach your right hand to the outside of your right knee, or you can use a strap and gently pulling your right knee to your left knee to the right side of your body. Gently gazing, looking over your left shoulder. Extend that left arm long and bend your left elbow to a cactus, palm facing up. Gently come back to center, release your bind, extend your legs out long. From here, reach your arms up high overhead, legs extend long in opposite direction. Draw your arms over to the right side of your mat. Walk your feet over to the right side of your mat. Crossing your right ankle over your left thigh, pulling your left wrist with your right hand, coming into crescent moon on the floor. Gentle side bend over to the right side. Gently come back to center, walking your feet and your hands through center, drawing your arms over to the left side of your mat, drawing your feet over to the left side, gently crossing your left ankle over your right, gently grabbing your right wrist with your left and pulling over to the left side, deeper side bend. Continuing with your breath. Gently come back to center, walking your feet back in towards the middle. Throw yourself into a tight ball. Hold it here for a few breaths. Squeezing everything. Squeeze your calves, your glutes, your thighs. Tuck your chin closer in towards your knees. And then extend your legs long, bringing your hands by your side, palms facing up, pinkies in, thumbs out. Maybe drawing your heels to touch, allowing your toes to fall open, closing your eyes. Gently wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Drive your knees into your chest and gently rolling to your left or right side. Gently press yourself up. Come into a seated position of choice. Maybe rock your sit bones side to side, sweep your arms up high overhead. Release your left hand to your right knee. Release your right hand behind your back, chain looking over your right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, rise, arms overhead. Exhale, release your right hand to your left knee, left hand behind your hip. And feet over your left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Thank you all so much this morning for allowing me to share my practice with you today, each and every day. Hope you all have a lovely rest of your week and weekend. Namaste.